All right, I can get out through here.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Yoda from SEGADriven.com, and welcome back to our Sonic Amateur Games Expo 2022 coverage. In this video we're looking at the full version of Shadow's Ladder developed by Andrex. Now the last time we saw this was at say 2019, and I thought it was an interesting little take on the sort of traditional 2D Sonic formula. It's more explorative, more narrative driven, features more of a larger map instead of singular stages that you play in sequence. And it's got more of a horror theme than you know, traditional Sonic games. So yeah, it's a little bit of the shadow edginess creeps into this one, and I'm still not too sure how I feel about that. I don't know if it really vibes with me. I don't know if I particularly want that out of the Sonic franchise, but obviously someone does, and this is a fan game, so why not go and explore that avenue and really go for it. So yeah, it's an interesting little thing. It's incredibly well made, I've got to say. Lots of original artwork here, and yeah, the styling is completely original. There's not really any Sonic game that I can think of in a 2D sense that has such a focus on narrative and exploration, which is kind of fun as well. And I do like the sort of Metroidvania scope of it, to be honest with you. I like the way that you're always unlocking new abilities, new access to new areas. It feels like you're really exploring the world and making the most of the environment. I really like that about it, actually. I think that's quite effective. I think it's a shame that the game spends so much time in the dark. You are kind of looking around for switches to activate power and get the lights back on, so you end up playing an awful lot of this game, you know, this very sort of dark, washed out look, and having trouble seeing what's going on, and that kind of spoils the action a little bit. I think that maybe something they could have done something a little bit more to not bog the game down with so much darkness, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a really interesting little game. I found myself quite intrigued in it and searching the areas a lot more and just pressing forward and seeing where it took me. At one point it kind of poses you with a question of whether you want to go one way or another, basically sort of like giving you an early ending if you choose one way, or basically, you know, opening the game up further by choosing another way. That kind of reminded me of like Nier Automata in a weird way, actually. Like it was like, okay, we're proposing lots of different endings to the game, and it's completely up to you how you want to play it, so go nuts, basically. So I think that's kind of unique amongst Sonic fan games, to be honest with you. I quite like that as a concept, basically just giving you free reign to explore a game and play it the way you want to, and giving you different endings as a result. Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure about the theming, though. I think it's a little bit too edgy, a little bit too gritty for a Sonic game. I just don't think that's what I want from the franchise. But again, some people do want that, and I'm happy to see fan game developers really explore that to the absolute best of their ability. So yeah, I can't really knock it, to be honest with you, because it's just something different, you know. And if anything, I think that should be celebrated amongst fan games. I think we should be celebrating different experiences and trying different things and trying to introduce players to, you know, a different concept that the Sonic franchise would not explore normally. So fair play to them for really going to absolute town with this and actually completing the game. We're having an absolute bumper year for complete Sonic fan games, and it's awesome to add another one to the list. So yeah, please go and check this one out if it does seem like it's something you're interested in. Like I say, it's probably not going to be for everybody. I think if you're obviously a fan of the character Shadow the Hedgehog or the you know, the self-titled game, then you're going to certainly want to give this a go, because it's just, yeah, an interesting take on it. It's more of a sort of 2D explorative Metroidvania style Sonic game, which is a really unique thing amongst Sonic fan games, and I think the execution is really good. I think it's done really well. Maybe a little too dark. Yeah, I think it relies too heavily on the try and find the power switch to get all the lights back on kind of gimmick, which is a shame. But other than that, I think this is certainly worth giving a go. It's different, it's unique, you're not going to play anything like it at this year's Sage, and it is now a complete game. A real rarity, worth celebrating, and yeah, I'd like to recommend this, I think. Even if it's not really my cup of tea in the visual department and the theming, I'm not really into that sort of gritty, very serious styling. I still think this is worth checking out because it's just so different.